If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
This month's TV 47 Star Student of the Month from Fayetteville School is brought to you by State Representative Ron Johnson and Curtis and Son Funeral Home.
And we welcome Leah Platt this morning. Leah, good morning to you.
Morning to you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your time as a 7th grader at Fayetteville School.
Well, first off, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. As you've already said, my name is Leah Platt. I'm in the 7th grade. I'm 13 years old. I have 3 sisters, Lydia Platt, who's in 10th grade, Lily Platt, who's in 4th grade, and Laurel, the baby, who's in 1st grade. We moved to Fayetteville about 5 years ago from Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, so why the move from Jacksonville to Sylacauga?
Well, my dad accepted a job with Vapor Ministries, which moved us here. And Vapor is a nonprofit ministry that caters to third world environments.
Okay, Leah Platt, our Star Student of the Month. She's a 7th grader at Fayetteville School. And Fayetteville is such a unique community.
Yes,
people across the state of Alabama are watching this morning may not realize, but Fayetteville is a community that is just community first always.
Yes, sir. It's a small town, but I'd say we have some pretty big family values.
No doubt about it. And talk about school a little bit. You're in the 7th grade at Fayetteville School. What's going on this year?
Sir. Well, the JV basketball season, I play on the team, and we're starting our games this week.
All right.
So I'm looking forward to that.
What position do you play?
Point guard.
Okay. Have you played basketball before? This is your first year or what?
I've played in the little rec league that Fayetteville has, but I've never played for an actual team yet.
All right. What about some of the classes you take at school?
There's about 7 or 8 main teachers, so I take math, science, history, English. I take music, all that kind of stuff.
You like music?
Yes, sir. I play the snare drum in Fayetteville's intermediate band.
All right. Leah Platt is our Star Student of the Month. She's a 7th grader at Fayetteville School. Who's some of the teachers that help make a difference at Fayetteville School in your life?
Well, I kind of have a running diatribe with 2 or 3 of my teachers because they're either Auburn or Alabama fans, and I'm a Georgia fan. But it's all in fun and games, and I really enjoy being in their classes and learning.
Who's some of the teachers there at Fayetteville School?
My history teacher, Miss Lauren Morris, my math teacher, Morris Phillips, science, Chris Sherbert, and English, Kim White.
As you get to the holiday season, I know that Fayetteville always does a big thing for Veterans Day.
Yes, sir.
That's coming up real soon. Are you involved in that at all?
As a student ambassador, I am involved. We'll probably end up escorting a bunch of people.
Okay.
Almost everyone in the school gets involved. The veterans will walk down the hall, and all the elementary students will have the flags and wave them as they walk down, so they try to incorporate every grade.
That's fantastic. Leah Platt as our Star Student of the Month. She's a student at Fayetteville School. And what are some of the other organizations that you're involved in at Fayetteville?
Well, as I said, I'm in the middle school student ambassador leadership team. I'm in the intermediate band. I play snare drum. I'm a Lady Wolves basketball team member, and I'm on our school news, which is the Daily Howl.
Now, talk about the Daily Howl and how you're involved as a sports reporter.
Okay, well, the Daily Howl started about 3 years ago, and I've been involved since the start. I started as Thought of the Day, then main anchor, and now I'm sports anchor. So I basically give a recap of what's happened in the past week in the Fayetteville sports world, and then I talk about the upcoming events.
And with Fayetteville being a community that's just chock full of sports,
Yes, sir.
you got a lot to talk about, don't you?
Yes, sir. We got a bunch of teams, but I'm just proud of how we've been performing this year.
Well, the volleyball team did well. Did you get to go to the tournament?
No, sir, but I heard a lot about it. We came up just a little short.
Sure did. Not very short at all. Hey, you maintain a straight A grade average. I know that's important to you. How do you do that?
Well, I basically put myself, I have a very competitive spirit, so I try and turn everything into a competition. That way I can strive to do better. So I always have to put first things first and work hard to keep up that average.
Is there a particular class more than others that is a challenge to you from time to time?
I'd have to say math. I'm not the greatest at math. I try really hard, though. I have to study a lot. But
Okay. You involved in church?
yes, sir. My family attends Mignon Baptist Church. Going to church is important to me because in the Bible it says to surround yourself with other Christians, so I'd like to do that.
All right. Leah Platt is our Star Student of the Month. She's a 7th grader down at Fayetteville School. She's a part of the Lady Wolves basketball program, and you guys start, y'all already started practicing, right, I guess?
Yes, sir. About 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and you start play this week?
Yes, sir.
Do you know who you play?
We're playing Coosa Central.
Okay. All right. There's a lot of basketball coming up with the Lady Wolves basketball team. Now, this snare drum.
Yes, sir.
Explain the snare drum. How do you do the snare drum? How did you get started with that?
Well, we went in for instrument testing a year before, and we started playing all the different instruments, and I just really developed a love for snare drum. It's just one drum, and you bang it with the drumsticks.
Okay. Did you bang it at home before you started at school?
Yes, sir. Kind of annoyed my mom a little, but it's all right.
Hey, the spelling bee.
Yes,
You're
sir.
involved in the spelling bee, so talk about that a bit too.
Well, my sister, for the past 3 years, we've always competed in the spelling bee. We both made it to school, and I'd get second to her.
So it's that competition thing again, right?
Yes, sir. And so she aged out last year, sorry. So I made it to state, I made it through county, and then I went to state. Oh, well, I already said that, sorry. And so my goal is to go to state this year as well.
What was the word that, it was a challenge to you, but you thought about it and you got that word spelled correctly?
Probably WYSIWYG. It was,
Oh my goodness.
it was WYSIWIG.
You don't have long to think about that either, do you?
It stands for what you see is what you get, but they pronounce it WYSIWYG.
Okay. How long do you have to spell the word? Is there a clock or something, or?
No, sir, you can buy up as much time as you want. I typically try to go the quick route, though, so I don't get too confused.
Well, I'd have to buy up a lot of time. I'm real good at spelling, but doing well in the spelling bee in Talladega County is Leah Platt. You ever thought about what you want to do when you grow up? I know you're 7th grade now, got a ways to go yet, but what do you want to do, you think?
Well, I'd like to attend the University of Georgia and hopefully pursue a career in broadcast journalism. And in some way, shape, or form, whatever career path I choose to embark on, I'd like to be involved in missions as well.
Great, fantastic. The competitive spirit that you have,
Yes, sir.
and you're in Alabama and Auburn country here in Alabama. How does a Georgia Bulldog survive in that?
I mean, some of my teachers like to play the national championship game once a week without fail. So it is a little rough, but you got to have some good comebacks.
Absolutely. Who is someone you look to in sports broadcasting that you maybe kind of patterned your style after? Anybody?
I kind of like Julie Andrews, how she's like a sideline reporter and knows what's going on in the game.
All right. Well, what's going on in the game is Leah Platt is our Star Student of the Month. She is a 7th grader at Fayetteville School, and she is the sports reporter for the Daily Howl news program. She's a part of the basketball program as well, plays in the intermediate band, and she is really involved with her church, and her education is so important to her. Your academic success with all these sports you got going on, your academic success is the important thing, though. It's really key to your future. How do you balance academics and athletics?
I just try and put first things first. If I have practice after school, I'll either study during school or come right home and study after practice. Right. So just try and keep it balanced as best as I can.
All right, let's have some fun, okay?
Yes, sir.
This other stuff's been okay, but let's have some fun now.
Yes, sir.
Leah Platt is our Star Student of the Month. Favorite football team?
College or NFL?
Let's go college, since I know you're, let's go NFL because I know you're college.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Well, you stayed in the state, right?
Yes, sir.
Favorite food?
Brownies.
Okay. Favorite place to travel?
That'd probably have to be when Kenya. I went on a mission trip there.
Oh, good. Talk a little bit about on your mission trip.
Well, we went with Vapor Ministries, where my dad works. My dad, my mom, my older sister Lydia, and I all went to Kenya, and it was just a very eye-opening experience, and I'd love to go back.
What does Vapor Ministries do? Do you know?
Well, their motto is to meet needs and feed souls. So meet the physical needs of people and then feed their souls with the Word of God, which will fulfill their life forever.
And it's right there in Fayetteville, Alabama, too, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Main headquarters.
Leah Platt is our Star Student of the Month, 7th grader at Fayetteville School. Appreciate you coming this morning and
Thank
continued
you.
success. And what do you like to do outside of school? What you got going on outside of school?
I really just like hanging out with family and friends, going to the lake. I really enjoy that kind of stuff.
Now, I asked you about this wakeboarding, and I was raised on a dirt road. We didn't have no wakeboarding back in that day, but what is wakeboarding?
So it's basically a board, and there's 2 holes for you to stick your feet in, and then you're pulled by the boat, and you hold on, and then like whip your board to the side when you get pulled up, and bend your knees and just go.
Now, is this your dad?
Yes, sir.
Does he wakeboard too?
He tries. he's pretty good though.
Okay, all right. Leah Platt, our Star Student of the Month here on Daybreak. She is a 7th grader at Fayetteville School. Don't go away, got more after this.
This Star Student of the Month has been brought to you by State Representative Ron Johnson and Curtis and Son Funeral Home. Tune in to Daybreak for your Star Student of the Month.